All right, everybody, welcome back. We're coming in fresh off of our Steve Vai album review and Steve Vai ranking series. So we've ranked all those albums. We're moving on to a little something new. And like I said last time, I announced it, of course, in the ranking Steve Vai albums video. We're going to be looking at, a band with only 2 albums. And of course, we're talking about Blue Murder. Because we're going to do, I kind of like to do these little pit stops in between the big discographies that I do cover. And so we're going to do this right here. And man, oh man, so much awesome stuff to say about this album right here. This album right here, of course, came out, Blue Murder, I think it came out in 89? Yeah, okay. 1989, and you've got these guys on it right back here. You've got John Sykes, Tony Franklin, and Carmine Appice. Man, if you don't know who those guys are, you'll know the bands they've been a part of, because John Sykes, of course, was in Thin Lizzy, Whitesnake, and on the big, incredibly produced 1987 Whitesnake album, in fact, and, on Slide It In. He's just done all sorts of awesome stuff. And then, of course, we've got Tony Franklin's been kind of a session basis of just scattered across. You can find his name just littered across. Sometimes I'll be listening to an album or something that has nothing to do with that has nothing to do with John Sykes or something, and I'll just see his name pop up on there, and I'm like, okay, well, there's Tony Franklin, because I think he was on the Don Dawkins solo album, his first solo album, Up From the Ashes, if I'm not mistaken. Then of course Carmine's been in the band Cactus. He's played with Marty Friedman, and he was on Paul Stanley's self-titled Kiss album. And then here, he was on King Cobra, his band King Cobra. So he's been all over the place too. So you just got some elite, top-class musicians here. And pretty much what you'll find on this album is that John Sykes, after the kind of falling out with him and David Coverdale and Whitesnake, this was kind of his answer to hey, I'll show you how big of a role I played in the making of that 1987 album. And you can hear it all over this thing. Through the production, just the really big sound. Of course, Sykes' tone, one of my favorite guitar tones of all time, it just cuts right through you. But with all that being said, we'll get it going with side 1 here. Track 1, Riot. Holy hell. This thing, you just get this bass, and Tony Franklin's bass tone is something just out of this world. My uncle, when he and I have talked about it before, he's described it, and I find it fits it very well. He's described it as like a snake coiling, and Tony. And if you hear his sound, and that maybe that's not the best description for you, but to me, that really makes sense. Whenever he said that, I was like, I kind of get that vibe with just real, it's really hard to describe how just beautiful his bass tone is. Clean, but it's got man, it almost sounds like a hornet sometimes. The way he does it, and just slides all around, and he's a really fast player, and you open it up with one of his just little snarls from his bass, and then Carmine comes crashing in on the drums, and man, oh man, because Carmine, and of course his brother Vinny Appice was with Dio, and Black Sabbath. These two, just some of the best drummers of all time. These 2 brothers here, and I gotta say, I actually prefer Carmine over Vinny. That may be controversial or whatever, but of course I love Vinny. If you see my Dio rankings and reviews, and same with Sabbath rankings and reviews, you'll know I love Vinny Appice. He's freaking great. But for me, Carmine is just, I love his drumming. And John Sykes comes shredding in on this thing with this badass freaking riff with these crazy little lead fills. And yeah, John Sykes is freaking singing on this thing, and he's so damn good at it, so underrated at it. He's like, hey, I don't need David. I got this, and he has an incredible voice with an incredible range that just fits right in this 80s, hard rock, borderline glam metal, glam rock, but, I don't really see them as that, because they have they're a little bit more different than that, I think. Maybe they kind of tease that way, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, if maybe these guys are considered, if you consider them glam metal or not. I really don't, but I kind of see where people could. But yeah, Riot has just this really, really cool kind of chorus that's really anthemic, and I love the part where John Sykes, you got an innocent boy for an innocent crime, and then later on he kicks in after the chorus when they do the it's a riot, do that whole thing, and then he comes in with that same line again and just is freaking ad libbing some vocals over this, and the solos in this. Oh my god, this is the best guitar work ever from John Sykes in my opinion. I just cannot get enough of this. The solos, you'll hear me say that several times on this review here, and probably the review for the next album of theirs. So, but yeah, then we followed up with Sex Child, which is pretty much the answer to Still of the Night. Both very provocative songs, obviously. And they have very, very similar song structures. So John was pretty much like, hey, look, I was a big hand in writing that song, which is very clear because he wrote this song. And it even has a very similar, like, breakdown, with, like, the slower, synthier parts on Still of the Night off Whitesnake's 1987 album. This same kind of thing here, just a really, really slow part. And then, freaking Carmine comes crashing in, and just aggressive solo here from John Sykes. Just starts just freaking tearing it up, and it's like a punch in the face and out of nowhere, because it's, and Sykes does do a killer solo on Still of the Night during that, like, after that little breakdown, but this is just like, and that's already a cool shift in tone in that song, Still of the Night, from the, kind of clean and softer part to that solo, but this is like that clean and softer to a whole new type of aggression from John, and he just knocks this thing out of the freaking park. One of my favorite solos of him of all time here, yet again. Said it on Riot, saying it here on Sex Child, and just another really, really hooky chorus with just incredible vocals. Then we go on to Valley of the Kings. This is quite the epic off here. I mean, man, this has got such a cool riff and just a really big driving riff. And I love, like, the vocal melodies of this one, how it's kind of like a drawn-out vocal from Sykes, and then kind of spits out a couple lines there that just really, really, really go well together in the melody. And just the build-up of this one is just something else. I love the bass work on here. This is another one that really shines. Tony Franklin knocks this one out of the freaking park. I think his best bass track, though, the best bass work Tony Franklin does on this album, though, is on Riot. But he knocks it out of the park on all these. And Valley of the Kings, I mean, it's got all these really, really cool, breakdowns, cool solos, kind of orchestral sounding moments. And then it breaks back down into the verses after an epic solo and just keeps driving. And then the outro to this, you got like the kind of like chanting, of from Carmine and Tony Franklin, with Sykes singing over it, and it's like a story being told. Valley of the Kings, one of the best damn songs off here. That's 3 just killer tracks in a row, and we're gonna do it with the 4th one here with Jelly Roll, which is kind of a more maybe kind of commercial sounding one. It's like an acoustic kind of jam going off at first, with kind of a prettier one. It seems like it's gonna be kind of like a simple melody, kind of a faster paced one. And then it gets to this beautiful, beautiful breakdown. It becomes like a ballad at the end with, they just repeat the love can break your heart. Man, I gave you all I had to give. It's word, it hurts to say how much I miss you. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff. It may sound kind of corny or whatever, but man, the emotion that you're getting out of all the John singing this, and just the build up, yet again, just like how they built up that incredible, the outstretch of that story in Valley of the Kings, the build up is again a key factor here on Jelly Roll. With that ending, it just kind of keeps repeating that same just really pretty melody while with the love will break your heart thing, and then meanwhile Sykes is shredding behind it. It just makes for a really, really beautiful and passionate moment on this album that makes it one of my favorite songs. Then we flip on over to side 2, and used to, and I've heard this album just like a million times. I love this thing. Been a huge fan of these guys for a long time, and but like probably like when I first got into these guys, I just pretty much would like play side 1. Like side 1 was like my go-to stuff. I would obviously listen to it whole album all the way through, but like side 1 was like, because I mean, hell, you got those 4 just incredible tracks in a row. But like as time's gone on, I've come to appreciate the tracks, the deeper cuts, on the second side here more and more. I do prefer the side 1 overall. I mean, that's just like, they're just freaking hitting home runs each track. And I mean, they pretty much do the same here on side 2, but I think side 1 overall is a stronger side. But side 2, we we go with the title track, and this is kind of a heavier one on the album with just really, really cool drumming and stuff, and kind of a, really, really fast melody. John singing here throughout this song, and just with a really, really cool chorus, and again, one of the heavier ones. And he kind of, near the end, he kind of shows even more of his range. If he already hadn't showed it enough on these other ones, it takes it up a notch on that last, line of the chorus there. So Blue Murder, really, really awesome song. Then we go to probably my least favorite off here, which is, it's a solid ballad though, Out of Love. Really, really cool stuff. I feel like this is kind of trying to be like the Is This Love, even like from Whitesnake's 87 album, but I don't think it quite captures, I don't think it quite matches that, because even though that's like considered an overplayed Whitesnake song or whatever, I love that song, it's really cool. But this one, and I do like this song, Out of Love, but it's definitely my least favorite off here, and the emotion's all there, of course, the guys are all knocking out of the park. I just, compared to a lot of the other stuff off here, I think it kind of, hides behind some of those tracks, and I think as far as the ballad type thing goes, I think Jelly Roll kind of covers that with its ending portion. But Out of Love is definitely a solid track on here, no doubt about it. Then we go to Billy, which is a really, really cool one. I love the chorus of this one, Public Enemy #1, and, just really cool lyrics, kind of, again, really, there's a lot of stories being told on here. At first, like, from the lyrics, like, the first couple times I heard, I thought it was about, like, Billy the Kid or something, talking about an outlaw, but then it gets a little bit deeper into some other stuff, so I guess it's not. But nonetheless, just a really, really cool song. Definitely one of my favorites. Or probably, yeah, I'd say this is probably my favorite track off this second side. That Billy's always been a big standout to me there on this one. Really, really fun song. Then we go to Ptolemy, and this one's getting just a heavy, heavy hitter. I think that's how you say that. It's Ptolemy. I think it's pronounced not Ptolemy, but Ptolemy. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But great song nonetheless. This one's got a Carmine is showing off big time on this one, and the drums just kicking those drums ass. And I love the gain vocals and stuff, which I forgot to mention are littered on this thing, which is awesome. And they really stand out on this track here. So yeah, Ptolemy is just another incredible, incredible song from these guys. And we close it off with Black Hearted Woman, which this one probably used to be my least favorite off here. But man, I forgot just how damn good Black Hearted Woman was. Like I said, I've always kind of been more partial to that first side. And I just hadn't listened to, I hadn't listened to this album in a minute before. I kind of take breaks from listening to all these albums before I do the reviews of them and everything, so I get a good fresh listen again. And I forgot about Black Hearted Woman, how it went, but it's like a really cool bluesy one and a big standout in this album. Used to, like I said, I would maybe say that's my least favorite off here, but hell no, not this time. The bluesiness of that one, I love the melodies going on in there, and I think it's just a really, really solid closer. And another really cool solo from John. So yeah, guys, this is just an epic, just a freaking 5-star, great, great record. One of my favorite 80s albums, period. And to me, again, the glam metal, if you want to call it that or whatever, I think this is heavier than that, and I think Carmine's a big factor, and really all these guys are. I mean, John is heavy guitar tone, the bass tone from Tony Franklin, and just the songwriting. I think but if you guys want to call it glam metal, it's all subjective. But yeah, this is just such a kick-ass record, and I think the production on it, much like the Whitesnake self-titled 87 album, just stellar production. Sounds very modern. You can hear everything very clearly. I don't even think it's been freaking remastered. Does it need it? I don't think so. Sounds just fine on the record to me, and you can hear that bass noise going. And again, I just can't talk enough about John Sykes' guitar tone and how freaking great he is. And it's a shame we don't really see a lot of stuff he's doing. I know he released like a couple singles these past few years, but man, let's release the damn thing. I know it's like a joke on like that Sea of Tranquility channel, that if you guys watch them, cool music channel, everything, and they always make a joke. There's even a t-shirt made of John Sykes on a freaking milk carton. So, and it's true. let's pump out this freaking album that's supposedly been done for years, John, because we love you, your fans love you, but damn it, we can only be so patient because when he's pumping out stuff like this, yeah, and he's just such an incredible guitar player and songwriter, and just I think he's a genius, and I think that maybe if he would have continued down the line and not had so much time in between, like this album and the next Blue Murder album, that maybe and maybe would have kept doing other projects and stuff, he maybe would be like more widely known and credited for how damn good he is. But because he kind of just disappears, people don't really talk about him as much. But besides that little rant there, incredible album. If you've not heard this, please go out and listen to it. You will, if you like 80s music, even like if you're not obviously it's not like too heavy or nothing, but just I think there's fun melodies for everybody in here, like on Sex Child and Riot. You got your epics on Valley of the Kings, your ballads, Jelly Roll Out of Love, your bluesy ones with Black Hearted Woman, just incredible stuff, just a beautifully paced album. And I think it's just the production and the three guys right here on it make this a masterpiece of a record. I said it. Blue Murder is a masterpiece. And next time, guys, we're going to take a peek at their second album, Nothing But Trouble. It came out, I think, in like 93 or 94, maybe even 92. We'll figure out exactly whenever I do that review. But, since these guys only do have two albums, there won't be like a ranking video for these. Instead, I'll just say which one of them I like better in that next video. After I do like my review on that album, I'll just kind of give a rundown and be like, overall, I like A or B better, and then also stay tuned for that one because we are going to be announcing the next big discography we're diving into, kind of a change of pace, a fast pace. Well, I'll tell you that, and it's going to be a thrash metal band. So there's your little hint there. Y'all can throw out some guesses or whatever, and I'm just super hyped to dig back into these guys, and because once again, it's one of them hard discographies to rank because I just love them so much, and I love a lot of their stuff. So I'm really excited to be looking into whoever that is, which again will be revealed next time when we review Blue Murder's second album and final album, Nothing But Trouble. Let me know what you guys think about this. If you have any experiences with this, what you think about John Sykes, Whitesnake. Is it glam metal? Is it not? I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts about this and get some conversation going about this freaking greatness right here. But anyways, yeah, guys, like, subscribe, comment, and let's get some conversation going. Thanks.